It's funny, I think many would say all media is performance media because ultimately what advertisers really care about is driving results. And there are different types of results and there's different KPIs depending on your campaign and depending on where you are in your brand's life cycle. But the reality is we want to make it easier for advertisers to better understand the results of their media no matter where they are in terms of where they are interacting with consumers. So I think of performance media in two ways. One way is how do we increase the amount of metrics that are available beyond reach and frequency for brand? So increasingly, as advertisers are looking to drive awareness and consideration for their campaigns, especially on the big screen, they still want to understand other metrics that give them a better insight into how brands are ultimately taking action later on. And then the second way that we think of performance media is in the more traditional way of driving actions, and especially through the biddable media to transact on a particular conversion event. So this is where it could be a cost per click, a cost per action, and I think this is a huge opportunity for connected TV, where historically it's been only on a CPM basis.
So are there any areas you find yourself educating clients a bit about performance media?
Well, I think the first goal is just making brands more aware of the fact that you can transact on a CPA basis on the big screen. So over the last couple of years, we've been working on video action campaigns and bringing that to connected TV. So advertisers have the ability through their regular cross-device campaigns to include CTV inventory and measure the actions and shoppable events on the big screen. And I think that's a big opportunity. And we're looking to invest in more ways to both allow consumers to engage and connect. So this could be through a QR code. It could be through a functionality that we call send to phone. And we're also thinking about ways to enhance the ways that brands can measure these events, whether whether a conversion event happened directly on a TV screen or it happened later on another device. Because ultimately what this is all about is how do you effectively drive attribution and measure the events that you care about. And sometimes it happens on the screen, sometimes it happens on another screen. And so that's where we've been really focusing our efforts at Google.
And so, are there any key challenges or parts of this that are difficult that you're looking to solve for?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, core to successful performance media is measurement, but that can also be really challenging because, as I said, ultimately, sometimes a consumer will take an action immediately, but quite frankly, the majority of the time they take action later on, often on another device. So we've really been focusing on enhancing the first-party tools and working with third-party partners to increase the ways that advertisers can get this visibility into cross-device measurement, and then also thinking through setting up very clear learning agendas for advertisers to understand market-based tests to measure incrementality and attribution in different ways as they sort of set up their campaigns. Because we think by setting up the right degree of testing, it gives you the best ability to understand how media is working for you. And so we've been really focusing on doing that on a first-party basis and on a third-party basis.
And I was hoping you could tell me a bit about how this works, maybe cross-platform. I mean, I know in my personal experience, I'll watch YouTube on the biggest screen in the house, but then I'll watch it continue on my tablet or on my
Yeah.
phone. And I'd imagine you're aware, that I'm doing that, and maybe you can serve me an ad for different contexts, or I don't know. Maybe you
Yeah.
can tell me how that happens.
Yeah, so video action campaigns, as I mentioned earlier, is our key solution on YouTube that allows you to measure conversion events to the big screen, but it's a cross-device offering. And so ultimately, we're able to understand how users are engaging with your ad, whether it be on a big screen, on the mobile device, or in desktop. And we really try to take the complexity out of the picture for you. And our focus is just on allowing you to measure conversions at an efficient price and do so regardless of the screen. Another thing that we're thinking a lot about is as much as we know that advertisers want to run on YouTube, we also know that advertisers want to run off of YouTube. And so through DV360 and our DSP, we're making it easier to kind of measure cross-channel conversions in partnership with our third-party publishers. And so advertisers have the ability to kind of leverage DV360 to execute those campaigns as well.
Oh, great. Yeah, I only used YouTube as an example, but I'm glad that you mentioned the third party.
Yeah.
Um, so, looking ahead, Matt, is there anything that you're particularly excited about, or conversely worried about? Things that need to be solved for, or what's ahead?
Yeah, so one of the things I'm really excited for is creating more vertical specific solutions for different advertiser groups. So one of the key things I've been focused on is how do we help our media and entertainment partners measure conversion events for driving app installs on CTV, which is a big use case. So especially with Google TV, our TV operating system, we've created ways for streamers to measure app installs, again, on a first party basis and then on a third party basis with our partner Kachava. And this is a great tool for streamers to measure the app installs off the basis of a ad that's run on Google TV. Another area outside of media and entertainment is shopping. We think there's a huge opportunity for retailers. I mentioned video action campaigns, which enable shoppable TV. We're really thinking through other new innovative ad formats that can help that use case. And then finally, I think there's more opportunities to measure mid-funnel conversion events. So maybe it's not an app install or sort of buying something right at that moment, but maybe someone added something to their cart, or maybe someone is offering an email capture or a phone call. And so we're really thinking through applications for these mid-funnel conversion events that can be applicable to many different verticals like insurance or pharmaceuticals or the financial services sector, because we believe that, again, the more that we can make your media measurable, the better that we can help you, leverage every dollar the best it can.